All right, it's been a while since I made one of these videos, and I realized I've received quite a number of views and positive feedback on one I made a few years ago on Roll Morton's left-hand trombone style. So I decided to make another video to go along with that on another important element of his left-hand style, and that's the use of sixths. By that I mean the interval of a sixth. So if you're in the key of F, 1 to 6 looks like that. It's a major sixth, and this is a minor sixth. We could also point out the inversions of that. So first inversion, F chord, voiced as a sixth, would have the third on the bottom, the root on the top. Second inversion, fifth on the bottom, third on top. And if it was a dominant chord, the flat 7 or dominant 7 on the bottom, and the fifth on top. And for piano players who can't reach a 10th might find this useful, because you can get a similar effect by adding some harmony in the left hand, a similar type of sound. And like using tenths, you can use it for playing some passing chords. For example, if you're going to play C7 to F in tenths, you might walk from the C7 up like that. If you're like me and can't reach black key to white key major tenths, you might consider using some of these sixths to get kind of a similar sound. All right. We'll just pick a few very common chord progressions and walk through about 10 of these examples. So let's start with just 5-7 to 1. You can think of Bogalusa Strut or Wish I Could Shimmy Like My Sister Kate. That have these 5 to 1 back and forth. 2 bars of 5, 2 bars of 1. And we'll start by walking a third inversion C7 chord up to an F chord. Third inversion C7, you're going to start on the flat 7 and walk it chromatically up to F. Okay, you're going to play some stride bass, and you're going to get from that C7 to the F like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right hand. Right. That's like your pathway to the F chord. Let's try a second inversion, C7, up to F. Let's see, that would look like this. And second inversion, C7, up, and keep that F there, move the bottom up. Okay. One more with this 5 to 1 progression. About the second inversion, C7 down to F. And you'll be moving it chromatically down to root position. So, now you can do the opposite. We can go 1 to 5-7 and take that same one we just did and do it in reverse. The 1 chord up to C7. going back and forth. Okay. How about walking a first inversion F chord down to C7. First inversion, so you start on the third. Okay. That's the reverse of the one we did earlier. We went up, we're going to go down. Same thing, you could practice going back and forth between the two. Let's do one more with this progression, walking second inversion F to C7. Let's see, that one is going to look like this. Second inversion, start on the fifth, down to that third inversion C7. The reverse of the first one we did. So most of these are just taking the original version and just putting it right in reverse. So if you know one, you know the other. Now, I should add that you can move back and say you're on a static chord, C7. You can take any one of these and move back and forth between that passing chord and the original chord. So what I mean by that is, say you have that C7 in second inversion, and instead of moving down to F, you can move back and forth if you want to add just a little bit of movement. You could do this on tunes that you have a long duration of a single chord, like Bill Bailey changes. You get several bars of 1, several bars of 5. If you want to add a little bit of movement, you can move back and forth between what is implying a diminished chord, 1 to 1 diminished, or C7 to C diminished. That's what it's implying. Okay, let's move on to the next progression. Let's move from a 1 chord down to a 6 dominant chord. We'll do this in the key of E flat. And you can do a simple walk down by going from the second inversion E flat, walk down to second inversion C7. So you can do 1, 6, 2, 5, 1. You can practice that and add that in it. Okay, you can take the same one now and add a little more rhythm to it, and you could take that same motion. Same 1, 6, 2, 5 again. Okay. Let's do a couple more here. Let's do this one in A flat. This one I took from a Morton composition called Mamanita. You find this in the third strain of Mamanita. And he does this climbing fifth. And this will be from a 1 chord to a 5 chord, A flat to E flat 7. And you can climb up. There you gotta move the bottom up. And you get to a second inversion E flat 7. He does something similar on his Maple Leaf Rag recording he did for the Library of Congress. Do 2 bars of each. Right? Just continue to stride. Okay. Let's do one more. How about a 2-5-1, 2 dominant, 7, 5, 7, 1. We'll do this in E flat. And you hear him do this on original Jelly Roll Blues. Again, you're going to do this climbing fifth from an F7 up to a second inversion B flat. You play it down there. I think both sound okay. All right. Hopefully that was helpful to you, and happy practicing.